3, 2, 1, boom. Like that. Look at that. Nice throw. What is up, YouTube? Bunny Films here with a brand new video, and we are back in the great game of Lumber Tycoon 2 here with a fantastic tutorial, which I'm super excited to share with you all. It is an automatic bowling alley. But before I do begin into the details, I do want to thank you all for helping the channel reach 87,000 subscribers. We are only 13,000. I think it's 87,000. I don't know if it's 88,000, but it's maybe 87,000. But we're almost going to hit 100,000, which is an amazing milestone. But enough about the channel. We are here to talk about building an automatic bowling alley. So I've spent 6 hours planning out this build. I've built it 2 times, the entire thing from scratch, like 2 entire times. It was crazy, but it took a lot of time. But this is an automatic bowling alley that will be using this new item, the bowling pin and the bowling ball, which is over here. And to get these items, you have to buy them from other players if you don't have them already. They were only available in stores for the 2021 Christmas event in Lumber Tycoon 2, so they were a limited time item. Also, this bowling alley, the automatic bowling alley, will solve the problem of a difficult setup for pins, because if you've tried setting these pins up, it can be extremely difficult because they are very tall and very thin. Like if you try setting it up like that, it will drop. If you try pressing it into the ground too hard like this, actually that's perfect, but if you try setting up, it'll like wobble like that and fall. So overall, or just in general, it can be difficult to set up the pins, which is what this machine will solve. Additionally, it will return the ball to where you bowl the ball, like all the way back here. So it will return the ball. It will also clean up the pins by organizing them into a little area where all the pins go, which is super handy for setting it up and staying organized. The only thing it does not do is automatically set up the pins, which is something extremely difficult to do in my opinion. I haven't even, well, I did attempt it. It's just not feasible just because like the items fall asleep. I don't know the proper term for that, but it's just Roblox physics in general. If Roblox physics were realistic, we could definitely do an automatic setup, but I think some other channels might actually be attempting an automatic bowling alley, which would be absolutely insane to see. But that is not what this does. It is not going to automatically set up the pins. Also, all of the blueprints used in this build are in front of me right here. Let's go ahead and show you a little bit of a walk around. Every single thing laid out on the ground here is going to be listed in the description below. We are also using 2 different types of woods. We have oak wood and we have elm wood. And you just want 2 good woods that contrast each other quite well. We have oak wood and elm wood. But you could do like walnut and oak wood or walnut and birch wood, stuff like that. But we just have 2 different colors of woods just to make the build look a bit better. Also, timestamps are going to be included in the video, also in the description, so you can go ahead and navigate between different parts of the video. Or if you have to pause the video and like eat dinner or something, you could just go back to wherever in the video you were. Also, I know there's a lot of details, but I just want to get a lot of stuff clarified before we begin the build, because this is a complex build. But you can also adjust the size of the alley. That'll make sense later, but just like the distance from the player and the pins. And that will just require a few additional blueprints, but the size of the alley we will be building, I think, will be sufficient for a slightly difficult bowling experience, yet it's not too difficult at the same time. Additionally, a video will be out sometime after this video, which will include other things you can add to this bowling alley, which we are about to build, including like those helper rails that you can press a button or a lever and it will raise them. That way the bowl doesn't always go in the gutter. But this is going to be an extremely fun build, so let's go ahead and jump into things. So to begin, we are going to be building the conveyors, and here we have 12 straight conveyors and then 1 turn conveyor, all which can be purchased at Wood R Us. So to start, we are going to be building, well, essentially this is going to be the back of the bowling alley. And then the front over here, if we walk over here, is where the players are going to stand and bowl the balls. So going back here, this is where like the pins will drop, and the conveyor essentially will return the ball to the player and also organize the pins into where they belong. And I have this blueprint here on the ground just as reference where to start the conveyors, because I'm building this in my basement, so it's a bit limited of space. But if you're building this on your base, I highly recommend building it somewhere where you have a lot of space to work with, because this is quite a large build. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to place the first conveyor right here, and we're going to grab two other conveyors and place them right next to each other like so. The conveyor is going to run from where my cursor is, it's going to loop and then go this way towards the player like so. So it's going to run along the right side of the bowling alley. So let's go ahead, we're going to place a third conveyor right here like this, and then we're going to move this lamp just because it is slightly close to the conveyors. I don't want any collision issues. And we're going to take the turn conveyor, excuse me. We're going to rotate it like so and place it like this. And you also want to make sure that these little knobs are all facing in the same direction, because if they aren't, then that means the conveyor will go the other way, and we don't want it to go the other way. We want the arrows to point towards the player. Next up, we are going to grab the remainder of the 12 conveyors, this 12 straight conveyors, so that should be 9, and we're just going to place a straight line of them until we run out. And if you do build the alley a bit longer, just for an increased difficulty, or shorter, that will just have to, you'll have to like adjust how many conveyors you use. But I just recommend following along with the build unless you actually are confident in your building skills. So we're just placing all 9 of these in a straight row like so. And this is probably going to be the easiest part of the build. It will get a bit more difficult, but I figured why not start off easy for this tutorial. So let's go ahead and get this final conveyor down like so. So about here where I'm standing is where the player is going to bowl the ball. And this is about, I mean, roughly how long the alley is going to be, which I think is definitely long enough for the bowling alley. Now for part 2 of the build, we're going to go ahead and we are going to build the alleyway along with some of the floors in the back, which will support the quote-unquote machinery. And this involves a lot of blueprints. Again, they will all be listed in the description below what we will need. But for starters, we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab 2 oak 4x2s, and we're going to grab the first one and we're going to place this one right up here. And you notice you can place this on the ground like so, but we're going to place it 1 stud above the ground like this. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a second one, except this one is going to be placed on the opposite side of the alley. And to measure this, what we're going to do is we are going to grab a 4x2. We're going to place another 4x2 here. We're going to rotate this, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3. So this width here is a total of 7 studs, and we can go ahead and then place our oak 4x2 right here like so, 1 stud above the ground. And then we can go ahead and press destroy on these blueprints we just placed. We do not need to fill them in. And then in the middle is where the alleyway is going to be. But we're not building that part just yet. We have a few more oak blueprints, and by few I mean like 30 or so. It's a lot. We have quite a few oak blueprints to place. We're going to then go ahead and grab our oak 8x2s, and we are going to place 4 of these on either side of the alleyway. And this is going to be part of the gutter we are going to build. So if you're like, because like in real bowling, if you like miss the ball and it goes off the edge of the alley, then it goes in the gutter. Unless you have those helper rails up, then your ball just bounces off those and will most definitely hit some pins. So that's something I'll show you how to do a simple version of, how to do simple guardrails, but I will be having a tutorial out later on. But right now we're just placing the 8x2s like against each other like this all the way along here. And once we've placed all of our oak 8x2s and 4x2s, it should run the entire length of this conveyor here. And now that we have those placed down, we're going to go ahead and we are going to grab our oak our oak 1/1 wedges and place a whole bunch of these all along here. So we're going to start off by placing one there, and essentially they'll be placed all along here and then all along here. I'll do one side as an example, or actually part of one side, because it's pretty straightforward and it would take up about 5 minutes of your time if I showed you placing me placing every single one of these blueprints. But essentially you're just placing these wedges like so, and they run all the way along here towards the end where I place this. And then on the other side, it will look the exact same. You place one here and then place them all the way along until you reach the end right here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the video to show you what it looks like when it's complete. And this is what it should look like. We have wedges on both sides of the alley, which forms the gutters, and the slopes of the wedges face inwards towards the alley right here. Here's what it looks like. I'll give you guys a few more angles just in case you need them, but we essentially just placed a total of 18 1/1 oak wedges on top of the combination of 4x2 blueprints and 8x2 blueprints. And now we're going to be using some elm blueprints. Starting off with 4 8x4 blueprints, we are going to place these in the middle. And this is what color the alleyway is going to be. So if you want it to be a different color, just replace the elm blueprints with whatever you want. We're going to go ahead, we're going to place 3 more of these, and we're going to save the other 8x4, because there should be one left over, for later on in this part of the build. But we're going to place these all alongside each other like so, all the way down the alleyway, to form the alley. And then we're going to use a whole bunch, I believe a total of 8 8x2 blueprints alongside the 8x4s right here. So I know a lot of numbers, the numbers can get quite mushy in your head if you think about them too much, but I use them to describe the size of the blueprints and not the names, because the names are actually they're very general. They describe several blueprints, even though those blueprints are the same. So that's why I refer to them by their size. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to place these all the way down the alleyway, the 8x2s. And then we're going to use a few more to complete the alleyway. And you might notice, instead of using large floors, we're actually using, well, the blueprints we're using. And that's because this is not going to be an 8 stud wide alley. Rather, it's actually going to be 7 studs wide, because the bowling pin formation calls for like an odd numbered alley. And it'll make more sense later, but essentially for the pins to be directly in the middle, it has to be an odd numbered alley, like odd numbered width. Next up, we're going to grab more 8x2s, but we're going to tilt these and place them like this. You can also use posts. You can use 2 posts per 8x2, but I went ahead and I used those because I have the power to build these, and it just makes more sense for me to use fewer blueprints instead of just a bunch of posts. So we're placing these all the way down here like so, to complete the alleyway, and then we can go ahead and place a few more elm blueprints in the back of the machine where the doors are going to be for the contraption. And again, the contraption is completely optional. You can go ahead and quit the video here if you'd like, but I think the contraption is an essential part for this build because it does provide a number of functions for this machine. So now we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this, I keep saying I'm going to go ahead, we're going to turn this light around here so we can actually see in this area where we're going to be building. And we're going to go ahead, and for starters, let's go ahead and get, I keep saying that, I'm sorry. We're going to get an, let's see, I think, yeah, this should be proper enough. We're going to get an 8x2 blueprint, and we're going to place this right here. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our large floors. So if we grab our large floors, we can go ahead and tilt them like this. And we're going to place it 1 stud up like this. I think this is it. And how it should turn out is, actually, no. I'm wrong. Hold on. It's 1 stud lower. So like this. So there should essentially be 2 studs of clearance beneath this. So 1, 2, like this, 1, 2 studs. And then if we place this 8x2 here, it gives us sort of a reference because we want to place it 2 studs offsets from the edge of the conveyor. So if you look here, this is 2 studs offset. So two studs inwards from the edge of the conveyors. We're then going to go ahead and grab the 3 remaining large floors and place them side by side. And I have them placed like so just because I have to fit this in my basement. But if you have more space to build, any set of blueprints should work for the back of the machine. This is just floors to support the doors, which we'll be building like some weird machines out of. But we placed all 3 large floors like this, and then we're going to go ahead and grab an 8x4 elm blueprint and tilt it like so. And this is going to be placed right here. So you'll notice that this does cover part of the conveyor, and that is what we are intending to do. It should only cover 1 stud worth of the conveyor, and it should connect to this 1/1 oak wedge that we have placed here, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to grab a 1/1x1 wedge, and we're going to place it in this corner right here so the bowling ball and pins don't get stuck in the corner. And that way they just roll along the conveyor. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to grab, let's see, two 1/4x1 oak wedges, and this is part of the ramp. And this is just so that the ball doesn't get stuck, nor do the pins. And these will get placed on the conveyor. So you want to put your cursor like so, and place one like this, and then grab the second one and place it right next to it. And that way, again, the ball doesn't get stuck, nor do the pins, and it will make more sense later on. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to grab two short smooth walls. But before we do so, we're going to place a blueprint right here like this. There we go. And then grab the 4x2 elm blueprint and place it right there. And you want to make sure that this is 2 studs wide, which this is why we use this blueprint. And then we can destroy it. And then we're going to grab a small floor or a 2x2 blueprint and place it like this. There we go. And you'll notice that it does not line up with this. There's a 1 stud gap between where the gutter goes and this. So that's intended. That's how the build is going to be. And that's just how it is. So next up, I believe this is what it should look like. I'll give you guys a few angles of what it should look like so far. This here should be 3 studs wide, this gap here. And then you should have this wedge, and then the oak wedges, and then this here like so. I'll just pan my camera around just a bit because this is all of part 2. So part 3 involves building the floor over the conveyor. Yes, it seems easy. However, we do have some organization systems going on beneath here, which is why we have to use very specific blueprints for this part. So we'll start off quite easy. We're going to use a basic door. Well, actually, no, we aren't going to start with that. Instead, we're going to start off with, let's see. We'll go with 3 oak floors like so. These are large floors, and we're going to place them like so. This is just going to be where the player stands and bowls. Not necessarily too important, however, it's just for aesthetics, I guess. But we're going to place 3 of these like so. The first one is going to line up with this gutter here alongside the conveyors. We're going to place the second one here in front of the conveyors like this. And then finally, we'll grab the third one, and we'll just place it over here. That way, there's sufficient room for the player to stand and bowl. And when you build this, you can definitely expand this area here with more floors or walls or seating or even a bowling ball rack. Of course, however you want. But that's not part of the tutorial. We're just here to talk about the machine and the bowling alley itself. So then we're going to go ahead. We're going to grab the, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll grab the 8x4 oak blueprint. We'll place this right here along the edge here. And then we're going to go ahead and grab, let's see, we'll do 2 posts. We'll grab the first post and place it right here. And let's see, and then we'll grab the second one and place it right here like this. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and grab 2 of the large tiles right here. Excuse me. There we go. And we're going to place the first one right here like this. And then we're going to grab the second one. And we're going to also place it like this right here. There we go. And then there will be this little gap here. We'll fill that in with a tile. And this is just a 4x4 blueprint. And this should fit right in. There we go. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And it's important that we use these blueprints like so, just because the bowling ball actually has to fit. But at the same time, we don't want it to go places it shouldn't go. So now that we have all those down, let's go ahead and we have... What do we have left? Okay, so we have we have a wedge, 2 tiles, and a door. So the door is actually going to go ahead and get placed right here. And this door is going to act as the storage for all the pins once they get knocked over. Because how it will work is there's going to be a combination of wires that will essentially direct the ball to go here and the pins, and then they will get sorted here using some very clever blueprint combinations. And the pins will get placed here, and then the ball will go along here all the way to this little area here where the player can pick the ball up and bowl it again. So that's what the door is here for. We're going to go ahead and grab the 2 remaining tiles right here. And we're going to tilt them. There we go. And place them alongside. Let's tilt again. We're going to place 2 tiles there. Like that. There we go. And grab a second one. Place it there. And then finally, we're going to grab a 1/4x1 oak wedge. Tilt it like this. And you want the... you want it to be like this. Let's see. I want to also make sure it's... hold on. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to grab a post for now. It's not really too important. We're going to place that post blueprint there. And then we're going to grab our wedge. We're going to rotate it and place it like this. And I'm going to go ahead, destroy this. And this is what it should look like. It should be facing inwards like this. So if you actually go ahead and grab the bowling ball, it will go... oh, hold on. I want it to actually show what it's supposed to do. There we go. Okay, so it should go here. And then because of the slope, it should actually be directed this way. And you'll notice how it works is that the bowling ball is not able to fit beneath here because it's too narrow. However, it can fit beneath the tiles. And that way, the bowling ball will not go with the bowling pins. And the bowling pins will go in here instead. It's a very clever system. I'll show you really quickly how the bowling pins do it. They'll just like, they can fit under here like this. And I'm going to open this door so we don't lose this pin because we are still missing quite a few things down there, which we'll get to in a moment. But that is it for this floor here. This is what it should look like. We'll do a little bit of a run through really quickly. We have the 2 posts here. We have the 8x4 here. We have a small tile, or not small tile, excuse me, a tile here. And then 2 large tiles, then the door, and then 2 tiles here, and then this wedge. And to finish off part 3, we're going to use 3 spooky icicle lights. And I recommend using specifically the spooky icicle lights, which can be purchased at Fancy Furnishings, because, let me show you really quickly. If you actually place them, there's these little strands that hang down, and these actually can be collided with. And these are great because they act as sort of like railings, and they're just better because, like, you can't do these with other wires. So that's why I recommend them. But we're going to place the first one. We're going to go from here a slight angle like this, and we're actually going to go ahead. We want to make it wide enough for the bowling alley or bowling pin to fit, but not too wide. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to place it at an angle like so. This is about a 30-degree angle. We'll place it like this. There we go. And that way, let's go ahead and grab a bowling pin or bowling ball, excuse me. So when the ball rolls, excuse me, it will touch this and then it'll just go this way. And it does get slowed down slightly, and then it'll bounce off of here. And the reason it does that, okay. So it's not wide enough. So yeah, it's one of the problems I had with the conveyors, but that's why I installed this little thing here. We'll actually make this a bit wider like this. There we go. And hopefully, 1, the ball will fit, but 2, we won't have that issue of it rolling back. So let's go ahead and roll it there. Okay, and then it bounces off, and then it hits this to get some forward momentum. And then it will keep rolling. And then once it actually makes contact with the tile, it will... pick up speed, but we have to place 2 more wires, so let's do that really quickly. The second one is to sort the bowling pins from the bowling ball. That way, like, well, they stay separate. So let's go ahead. We're going to place this first one up here. We're going to keep our camera underneath the floor like this, and then finally it will go, let's see, we're going to bring our camera over here. It will go to this edge like this, and then finally, well, it's not really necessary. We can just leave it like this. That way the pins stay trapped in here. Actually. No. Hold on. We can't do it like that, though. We actually have to place it on the ground just because the pins can actually fit through those gaps. So now, instead, what we're going to do, I apologize for that error. I was trying something new because with the previous builds I did of this, I did not try that out. However, it's just smarter to go this way where you place it directly on the conveyor. Like so. There we go. Okay, so that will keep the pins contained, but what we also want to do is keep the ball contained, which is what we're going to do over here. We're going to poke our camera into this hole like this. There we go. We do want to, let's see, let's try and get a better angle. Okay, we might not be able to. Oh, I see it for just a second. Okay, hold on. We'll have to do it this way instead. Okay, this works just as well. We're to place this on the on the post that's all the way back here. We're going to place this here like so, and then we're going to run this all the way to the front like so. We'll place it on top of here. That way, the ball, once the wire shows up, hopefully it does. Oh, okay. I think it glitched. I'll show it really quickly. Basically, it's a blueprint glitch where you place it. It doesn't actually place. I'll show it again, though. We'll place this up here like this, the spooky icicle wire, and then we'll run it all the way down here towards this wire here. And then what it does is it provides guidance for the ball. So I'll show what this does really quickly. We'll grab the bowling ball. So the bowling ball is retrieved from when you bowl the ball, obviously. It'll bounce off of here just because momentum, I guess. And then it connects to this wire here, which absorbs some of that momentum. I don't know physics. And then the ball slowly rolls forward until it makes contact with the floor. And then it will go all the way over here, where the player can go ahead and pick it up, hopefully. I say hopefully because we were testing it out. There we go. There's the ball. And voila, it's a ball retrieval system. How awesome is that? You can bowl it and just keep doing that. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the ball aside because we'll have to test that out later. And finally, with the pins, I'll just show you how it works. Like the pin will get knocked down. Sometimes it does get clogged though. It's not 100% perfect, but there you go. The pin fits right in under that wedge. And that is part 3 right there. Let's go ahead and move on to part 4, which is pretty quick. It's just setting up these hatches. So with these, we're going to go ahead and use 4 hatches, and they have to be placed in this very specific placement order. So you're going to rotate this one, and you want the button facing towards the gutter right here. So we're going to place it like this. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a second one. And then this one, you want the button facing towards, well, let's see. Yeah, I guess facing towards here. You can actually, we'll have it facing toward, the button facing towards the gutter as well for here. And then we're going to grab a third one. Let's see, where do we have a third one? Oh yeah, they're all over here, silly me. We'll grab a third one. We're going to rotate this like so and have this button, actually, hold on, before we do so, we have to open up both of these. We're going to press those buttons because this is only 7 studs wide. That's why it wouldn't fit. So once they're open, you can go ahead and place that one. And then finally, we're going to grab this one, but instead of it facing towards the gutter, we're going to rotate it once and place it alongside this blueprint here. That way, when this opens, the pins will all be directed into this little conveyor here, and it'll make its way towards there. So let's go ahead. We're going to close these really quickly and do a bit of wiring. So with the wires, we're going to use 4 normal wires. Let's go ahead and connect this button here. There we go. This button connects to this button. We're keeping the wire low just so it doesn't interfere with the bowling ball at all. There we go. And what we can also do is grab a lever, and this lever will be installed over here where the player is. But with this lever, it's just helpful so you can actually test out to see if the wires are connecting. We'll grab some spooky icicle lights for temporary wire analysis, I guess you'd say. I'm going to place this here, here, and here like this. There we go, and power it on. And as you can see, that turns blue, meaning it does connect. We'll go ahead and turn it off. We're going to grab a second normal wire, and we're going to go from, well, we're going to go from here. It's going to be a bit tricky, but we're going to place it underneath like this. And then we're going to rotate our camera underneath so we can see it here. And it's going to try and connect to this button here, which might be slightly difficult, but I think it's definitely doable. Now we'll go ahead and press the lever again. As you can see, it does connect to that hatch. Perfect. And we still have this hatch here, which has to get connected to. So we'll grab a third wire. There we go. And we'll move our camera underneath like so. And we'll connect from here to the corner of this blueprint here. Like this. We'll go up like this. And we're going to run it all the way alongside this hatch. That way it doesn't interfere with the bowling ball or pins. So it doesn't block them. And then we'll go ahead and actually we'll go down like this. So again, it doesn't interfere with the bowling ball in the gutter. And then we'll connect it here like so. And finally, we'll do a test to make sure they all connect, and wonderful, they do. So then we're actually going to open it up again. We're going to take a spooky icicle wire, and this here is going to act as sort of a ramp to direct the pins into the conveyor. And this is just because I cannot fit a wedge down here, so we can do this with the wire. We're going to place it in a zigzag formation, and you can use more than one wire if you want the gaps to be smaller. However, I'm trying to be efficient with my uses, like how many items I use, which is why I am going to just use one and try to fill in as much space as possible. This gap does feel a bit big. We'll move it inwards a bit. And then we'll go up one more time. And then downwards like so. There we go. And then we can go ahead and they do close. But one thing I do want to test out, I'm going to grab another normal wire just to temporarily connect to this. We're going to run it from here to here to here to here. And then it will open. Now we want it to close though. We're going to put a pin on top and show you how this works. And hopefully it works. So we'll place it here like this. We're going to press open. And the pin is asleep. How nice. But if you like step on it or something, that's one thing about Roblox physics is that items will fall asleep. So when like stuff below them changes, it won't necessarily detect it. But there we go. There's an example of it working, and then it will like go in there and whatever. But a bit slow right now. Let's go ahead. I'm going to set that aside though. We'll close this off, and that is almost part 4, I believe. Yeah, part 4. But what we do have to do is we're going to put this lever about right here. They're going to be on the floor just because it's more convenient. You can put them wherever you want though. We're going to run these spooky icicle lights to them. So how this will work, let's see. We're going to first connect this to here, and then it'll go down like this. I'm going to go down just a bit, and then this will run the entire length. And then of course it's not long enough, so then we're going to go press move on this, and I guess yeah, we can just use a normal wire for the rest of this because we don't really need too much wiring length. We'll run it underneath this blueprint right here. We'll place it right here like this, and then we're going to connect it to here, this blueprint, and then we're going to go from here and then try and run it from here. It's not gonna work. Okay. Instead, we're gonna actually run it from. We're gonna go up just a bit. Hopefully, it doesn't interfere with the bowling ball in the gutter at all. We're gonna connect it to this little nub here. Difficult to get a good camera angle, but I think we go up like this and then down. Oh, come on. It didn't, it was probably, oh yeah, it was too short. Okay, we're going to try that again really quickly. Please be patient with me. Let's go ahead and go under like this, and then connect to here. And then go to here. There we go. And then we're under here, where we have this little gap available. And then I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to run it up to here. It just might interfere with the bowling ball slightly. I'm not too confident though. It will though. Let's go ahead and go like that, and then it should connect to the lever. Let's test it out one more time. Voila, it works. And now we're going to grab the bowling ball just to see if it does collide at all, because, well, if it does, that's not good. There we go. It's rolling, 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 rolling. Boom. It rolls right over them. Perfect. So that is it for wiring the hatches. Now we're going to move on to part 5. So part 5 is going to be rather short, but it is going to require a level of preciseness that's going to be difficult to describe in the video, so I'm going to go ahead and try my best. But all we need for this part is 3 glass doors for this contraption we are about to build. So let's go ahead. We're going to walk over here and grab the first basic glass door, and I'm referring to the diagram, excuse me. It's not the best diagram, I just drew it for myself, but if you want to use it, I will have a link to it in the description below. But we're going to grab the first glass door, and we are going to place it one stud away from the edge here. So we're going to go here, we're going to go one back, there we go, and then we also, let's see, okay, yeah, and we want to make sure it's lined up with this wedge here. And I'm 90% certain that's correct. If we go into the later parts of the video, though, I might adjust it, but I'm 90% sure that is in the correct place. The next door, though, we're going to go ahead and grab. Let's go ahead and move this. Oh, yeah, and if you are referring to the image, when I did save the image, for some reason, a lot of the lines I drew are slightly off. I don't know why, so it's not the most accurate, but it is accurate enough for me to interpret. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get another glass door. And this one, we are, again, only going to place this one stud away from the edge. And then it's also going to go ahead and be slightly to the right. So it's going to be to the right of this wedge here. So like this. It's a bit difficult to see the door, but this is what it should look like relative to other blueprints we've placed. And again, I'm 90% certain this is in the correct place. We'll find out later if it isn't. And then finally, we're going to place a third glass door, which is actually going to be, it's going to be it's going to be the most difficult glass door to place. But what we're going to do, we're going to place down several blueprints down here just as a surface for the glass door to go on. And this glass door, we're going to go ahead and rotate it again. Oh, and something crucial I forgot to mention, the doorknobs do need to be facing upwards like this. No other position is acceptable. So let's go ahead and we're going to place this 4 studs away from this, actually no. Wait, no, 3 studs away from this hatch. So let's go, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So let's go over 1 more like this. And there we go. So that is 4 studs away. I forgot to actually adjust it on the other axis though. So that's 4 studs away. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to just move it up 1 stud like this. That way the edge of the door is in line with these blueprints here. So this is in line. And then, let's see, what else can I refer this to? And then there's like a 1 stud gap here. And then we can go ahead and delete these blueprints down here. Though I will leave this one because when we go on to the next part, we are going to need that there. But these are the 3 glass doors. I will do a bit of a pan my camera around, excuse me, just to show you what it should look like. And again, for all of these, I'm 90% certain this is where the position should be, but I will be making adjustments if need be in the next part. So part 6 is what we are at now, and it's going to be the most difficult part. Yes, it may be a bit deceiving that we're only using doors, but how can doors be difficult? Well, you can combine doors to make really cool contraptions like door bridges, and a lot of what I've learned from this I do owe to Code Prime. He was the one who introduced me to door bridges, so shout out to you. However, we're going to be using 6 fat doors and 6 like regular doors, all made out of elm wood. I mean, it doesn't really matter what wood you use for this, it's just whatever you want. And we are going to be referencing the doors as door 1, door 2, and door 3. We're going to start off with door 1, which is the easiest, and then end up with door 3, which is the most difficult. But hopefully with me being here, it won't be too bad. So we're going to start off with door 1, which will require 2 regular doors, but we're also going to get out a large floor blueprint. And we're going to place this 1 stud away from the edge, or yeah, 1 stud away from the glass door like so. So you should be able to fit 1 blueprint in between here. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to close this door. It doesn't matter which way it goes, just has to be down. And then we're going to get 2 regular doors. So this first door, and again, I am using reference images, which I will have in the description below. They aren't the best, but at the same time, they work for me, so maybe they'll work for you. And you want to make sure that the door handles are facing down for every single door we are going to be placing. So this first one is going to be as low as it can be. So it's going to be 1 stud up from this large floor, and you also want to make sure it is to the right of the doorknob here. So if we look here, the doorknob is here, this is slightly to the right, and then it is also only 1 stud off of, or 1 stud up according to the large floor here. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab the second door, and this second door, and I apologize for the bad camera angles, I have my driveway here. This is not going to be adjacent to it. Yeah, so you can place it here, but we're not going to place it here. We're going to place it 1 over like this, and also 1 up like this. There we go. So then we can destroy this, and hopefully this is correct. I'm saying hopefully because this is complicated for me too. We're going to press move on this, and you'll notice that these are sticking out 1 stud. But if you did everything correctly, the doors should go down like that when you press the door handle. So this is the door glitch. And one thing you do want to take note of is if you do open it on like the doors close, or actually open, quote unquote. I mean, it's a bit difficult to judge which way it opens and closes, but if you stand on this side, it will actually open downwards like this. But if you stand on this side, doors will open towards you. So you can think of it as whatever side you're on, the door will open towards you. So that's side 1, the easiest side. Now let's move on to door 2. So this is going to use 2 fat doors and 2 regular doors. We'll start off with the fat doors because they are slightly easier to measure. We also did forget to close it, so let's close it really quickly. There we go. We're going to take our fat door. Hold on. Sorry. Let's open it again. And I forgot to do this really quickly. We have to get out a large floor, and I believe this is going to be correct. If not, I will correct it in a moment. But we're going to place a large floor. You want to make sure you have that 1 stud gap we were just talking about between this door and here. So we have 1 stud gap. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get the fat door, and we're going to make sure, again, the door handle is facing downwards like this. If it isn't, then this will not work for some reason. I don't know. I didn't invent this. Let's go ahead. Well, not invent this machine. I didn't invent, like, the door glitch or whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to place it. Oh gosh, I'm going to make a hole in my house really quickly, just so I have a camera angle. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we're going to grab the door, and you want to make sure the door handle is facing downwards. I know I keep saying that, but mine, oh gosh, hold on. Can't see the door handle. It's weird how the blueprint flashes like that. Okay. So then now you're going to place it 2 studs off from the ground. So this is what it should look like. 2 studs off from the ground, but also you want to place it 1 stud to the left. So this is what it should look like. 1 stud to the left. You can fit this 1 stud blueprint here. And then when this closes, it should line up exactly with this edge here. So we'll now grab the second fat door that is going to be used for this part. There we go. It should already be facing downwards. We're going to place this all the way to the edge of this blueprint here, but also it will be the same height. So 2 studs off of the ground, but this door should line up with this edge right here. You'll know if you did something wrong when we go ahead and test it out, but we'll do that in a moment because we still have 2 other doors. We'll grab the first out of 2 basic doors, make sure the door handle's down. We're going to place these 2 in the middle, and it should be symmetrical on both sides. Again, you don't want it too close to this door here, so we're going to go over 1 stud like this, and then we'll go ahead and grab the second basic door. Bring our camera over here, and then place this in between the 2, not so that they're 1 stud away. You want to go, or yeah, so they are 1 stud away, so we're going to go 1 stud. There we go. We can press destroy on this. We can press open, and then you press E, move, quit. I forgot to explain that on the first door, my apologies. Then you press open door, that closes, and then if we want to test out if these are correct, let's go ahead and place these. And they are the same height, which is fantastic, meaning we did it correctly. Also, you will notice that these are jagged, and that is what it's supposed to look like. So good job if it looks like this. If it doesn't, I recommend rewatching this because the measurements for every single door are very important, and it's really difficult for me to emphasize like how important, well, not how important, but like the exact position they go, because it's very precise and it's Roblox. I don't really have that many units to refer to. But this final door here is going to be the most difficult one, and it is going to use 4 fat doors and 2 regular doors. With that said, let's go ahead and grab the fat, well, actually no. I keep forgetting the most important part. First, we have to place our blueprint. And again, this blueprint is actually going to be 1 stud away from the glass door. We'll actually have to go ahead and place down a 4x2 blueprint. That way we can fit this in here. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. We'll place that right there. I'm going to delete this one. I thought we would need it, but we don't. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves our large floor now and place it on top of the blueprint we just placed. And also we'll keep it in line with the glass door. Also 1 stud in between. We can fit this blueprint in between them. So let's go ahead. I will delete this one. We don't need it. We're going to open the glass door, and then we're going to grab a fat door. Again, I'm going to say it. I know it has to be said. I think you already know what I'm going to say. Handles facing down. And then we're going to go up 2 studs. There we go. This is 2 studs up on this blueprint. We can even measure it if you aren't able to tell by your eyes. This is 2 studs. There we go. And you want it all the way on the edge because we have to pack a lot of blueprints into this. Next up, we're going to grab another fat door. And this one, we're going to move one stud away from this door, like so. So there's a one stud gap. And then we're going to grab a basic door, but this basic door is actually going to be right next to this door, so there's no gap. And you also want to move it down one stud, like so. So it should be right next to the handle, slightly right to it, actually. But then we're going to go ahead and grab a fat door, like this. And again, there's not going to be a gap, but we are going to move it up one stud so it is the same height as the rest of the fat doors. So no gap, but also two studs up. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab a basic door, but this basic door is going to be the same height, two studs up from the ground with no gap. And finally, the last door. If you made it this far, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. I'll pat my back really quickly. Pat, pat, pat. Okay. Let's get the last door down. And we actually shouldn't pat our backs until we actually know this works. But we're going to put this last door, again, two studs off from the blueprint, or up, and then no gap whatsoever. And you should have one stud of space left right here. We can go ahead, destroy this. We're going to press close on the door. We'll press E, move, B quit. We're going to place this down like so. This is what it should look like. We're going to go ahead and do the same for the rest of the doors. We'll press this. Oh, they're the same height. That's good. Oh, wait, no, that's not good. Hold on. Okay, I see what we did. Okay, yeah. So we did make one little mistake, but we're going to go ahead and we'll correct that in just a moment. It's not too bad. We'll also go ahead and close this one, and now we are stuck. So, hold on. We're going to open that. Oh, gosh, what did I do to myself? Yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to hop up here. We're going to open that. There we go. So the back three here are correct. However, one thing I did wrong with this, and this is completely my fault, is these are about... these are two studs off. So this is a really easy fix, though, luckily. We'll go ahead. We're going to... let's see. Yeah, we're going to open the door. We don't really have to move this door. What we're just going to do is we're going to get a large floor placed down. And we're going to... we can just place that there. It doesn't really matter. We're going to grab both doors. We're going to put this one here and then this one here. And then we're going to close the glass door. And then let's go ahead and take the first door right here. And we're going to try to line it up with this door right here. So this is going to probably be... Oh, gosh. My camera angles are so tough to get. We're going to put this right here. It's going to be one stud off of the ground. And if we actually look... Okay, yeah, so these do line up, which is great. Let's go ahead and grab the second door. And with the second door, if you do remember, it is one stud away from this door. So one stud over, and then also one stud up for a height of 2. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so the blueprint glitched. I'm going to just place this blueprint here. So one stud over, and then one stud up like this. And then we can go ahead. I'm going to grab some elm wood. I know I can use that oak wood, but... we can't just make all elm doors and then just make one oak door. That'd be very unnecessary. So, and lazy. So let's go ahead and fill this in. There we go. And then this one should line up with this door right here. We can go ahead and destroy this. Press close on the door. Press move. Press B to quit or whatever your keybind is. And then press open door. And voila, that is perfect. So what this does here is it essentially helps you place the pins. One thing that is in the middle, you do have to place one blueprint. And this is just a post. It's only one, so it's not too difficult. And it's easy to place because it just goes smack dab in the middle like that. I couldn't figure out how to actually make doors fit here just because it's really complicated. But what this does, I'll show you really quickly, really quickly, is that you can just drop the pins in and they stand up. And that's like, what more could you ask? And they stand perfectly up. They might not be spot on in the middle, but I'll show you really quickly with just 2 pins how this works. I'm not going to do every single pin because we'll do that later on. We'll drop this pin in here and it'll bounce, but it does stand up. That's the great thing about this, is that the pins do not fall over. And then once we have this all wired up, we open the doors, and then you have a pin, like you have a total of 6 pins already set up, and you will just have to move this. And then also, because it isn't perfect, you'd have like a little bit of wiggle room. Sometimes they will line up with like this, but it is definitely worth having a setup where it's really easy to have the pins stand up. So let's go ahead. We're going to take this pin. We're going to drop it back here. And that is it for part 6. If you made it this far, good job. You made it past the most difficult parts. Let's see. I'm going to look really quickly and see what is up next, because we have made outstanding progress, especially if you made it this far. Okay, so what is next? Okay, we are going to just do some wiring. And yes, wiring can be a bit tricky, but we're going to use some wires just so we can automate this pin drop down and like pin, like we'll just control the doors. So we're going to use about I'd say around 10 wires total for this. And then after this is the most fun part, which is where you get to get creative, excuse me, and decorate the facade of the machine to make it look nice. So it's just like the front. So you hide all these ugly doors and wires and conveyors and everything. And then we can actually bowl a game. So part 7, we are almost at the end, and it's going to be pretty simple as well. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get these wires best put down so that they don't block anything, but at the same time are 100% functional. We're going to start off by grabbing a lever, and we're going to place this alongside the other one over here. And it might be good to label these by either having like a color of wood indicating like which one is what, and you can memorize that or something. I don't know. I would say like write a sign, but that ain't a thing in Lumber Tycoon 2. We're also going to go ahead. We're going to grab a spooky icicle wire, and we're going to just connect it to this one because it's already here and it would keep it like organized. And I like these because they are extremely long, so you don't have to use multiple regular sized wires. Also because we'll place that there, so it's a bit shorter. And what we have to do is we have to wire up a total of 6 different points for the doorknobs. So you have the like the resting position up here, which we have to wire, but you also have the activated position down here, which also has to be wired, so you can press the lever and retract the arms. So actually a button would be better for this. A button. Yeah, let's do a button instead. My bad. So now with the button installed, I replaced the lever because this is actually more practical and this is what we should use. You can press the button, as you can see the lights turn on for a split second, not really distinct, but we're going to go ahead. And the first wire, we're going to grab a normal wire. We're going to start off with this position here. Oh, wait. Ooh, hold on. I think actually we might have to move the position of that button because it's behind the door, so we might actually have to build it on this side of the setup. Ooh, it's actually gonna be interesting. Let's see, because I don't think it's where the wire is detected. It's where the where it gets activated. So let's see. Let's test this out really quickly. We'll run a wire up to there. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Never mind. Ignore me. So we started off with a first wire which runs up to here. It doesn't really get in the way of anything, which is great. But let's, yeah, actually that works because I want to leave some room beneath the wire. That way we can actually build a wall for the facade, which is in the next part. But we're also going to go ahead, we're going to open this, and we're going to run this wire to this here. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Let's grab a second wire, and I mean, it should be pretty easy to tell whether this works or not as well, because you can't really go wrong with placing wires. I'm also going to go ahead and, let's see. I'm gonna, I guess I'll, hold on. I'm gonna put this here for now. I'm gonna get a post out. Posts always solve my problems. We're just gonna place this right here so we can like get the wire in the proper position. So we'll go from here to here. And one thing I am concerned about is that the wire might actually get detected on the wrong side. So that's going to be something I try to avoid, but that's also going to be something we are going to test out right now. Let's test it out. 3, 2, 1, beep. Okay, good. So it closes both of them, which is just what we want. We'll leave this one in the closed position, and then this one here, let's go ahead and hook that up. Let's get a wire. This is probably my most favorite part of the video because I love working with wires because they're so unpredictable, but at the same time they're so fun. So let's go ahead. We're going to run this up to here, try and bounce it around so we can get it over here, or just connecting it to random doors at this point. And then connect it to the doorknob here. And then, if everything works, it will do that. Wonderful. And that is the formation we want. That's what we want to see around here. Look at that. How exciting. So now is the next problem, which is just getting them to open up. So I I think we can connect it to the same button. If not, that's a problem we can easily take care of. But what we're going to do is we're going to go from here and just go down like this. Actually, I might have to adjust a bit. And one thing you will notice is that you cannot start the wire on the doorknob. So you have to keep that in mind. But we're going to place this here. And then maybe like go up a little like this and then down. The doorknob is interrupting. It'll go up a lot more. There we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. Wonderful. And also, I want to make sure that yeah, it's not going to get in the way too badly. It might. Yeah, actually, it will. It will get in the way. So instead, we're going to try this instead. We're going to go from here. We're going to go. Actually, hold on. I know I keep changing my mind, but I'm trying to think of the pins because you don't want the pins to get deflected by this, which would be a big problem. Also, I can't. Okay, there we go. It's green. And then we're going to slide this down like here. But then it hits the bowling ball. Oh, so many problems. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We're going to go up to like beneath the doorknob, but down that way. Would it? Yeah, it would hit the bowling ball. Okay. There we go. So we're going to test this out. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And then it closes, and then it opens, and then you close. If you look at the top of my screen, that is just what we want. And I don't think that's going to interfere with the bowling ball, but I am still slightly concerned. So let's test that out really quickly. Will it block it? It does. Okay. My greatest fear came true. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to, oh gosh, wrong way. Stand here and test that out. There we go. And what we're going to do is essentially, we could go under. What if we did that? What if we went under? Okay. I'm going to place this. You also can't place it directly on the door. I'm going to place this right here. It'll make sense in just a second, but we know where we have to get the wire to be, essentially, I guess. So what we cannot do. Okay, we're not going to do that. Never mind. Cancel that. Okay. Oh gosh. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna test this out instead. We're going to place this here. We're going to go to this up here. And I'm just, the only thing I'm afraid of is if I do it like this is that it will interfere with the pins, which is it's a valid concern. But if you want to get really fancy with this, you can definitely do different ways of going about this, but I'm just going to go like this and hopefully this works. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there's not really a point in testing it out. The only problem is that it could deflect pins if the pins hit that. That's something that can easily be taken care of later down the road. So let's go ahead. We're going to place that there for now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next door, which I think is going to be a bit easier. Let's grab another wire. There we go. And let's go ahead. We'll connect from this. We'll just go down and like that. That's like super easy. There we go. Again, we can be concerned about pin interference, but it's something so minor, I doubt it will be that much of a game changer. Let's also go ahead and get another wire. And then we'll just connect it from here. We'll go down to here. And then over like this. And it should be 100% functional. I'm going to go ahead and close this so that they aren't lopsided. As if one will open and then two will close, and then two will open and one will close. So let's go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Open and close and open and close and open and close and open and close. It works. Look at that. So we are also going to go ahead. I'm going to open this up. We're going to test out the bowling ball just to make sure it doesn't collide with any of the wires. If it comes a gutter ball, I think we might, you're going to have to move this one. Okay. So move this one. We'll test out this side really quickly. Okay, it goes through. That's good. It did hesitate for just a second. So we'll move this one really quickly. But yeah, if you are building this, I definitely recommend testing it out as well. Just because, well, the bowling ball might get stuck. So for the, oh, this is going to be a bit tricky. I guess we can go from above. It's like an above attack. Let's see. Same thing we did on the other side. So we'll go from the door. Then we'll go to the wall, or the that thing, whatever. And we'll go down directly. I'm trying to circumnavigate, like, or not, I don't know. I'm trying to just get the button out of the way. Okay, I think, okay, that's definitely good. Only problem is that it might get in the way of the pins. I keep saying that. Also, the bowling ball's all the way up here. Look how that system works. It's beautiful. Oh, there we go. Dragging it under the floor. Okay, let's just test out this side. There we go, there we go, there we go. It works. Okay, wonderful. So we'll put the pin or the ball over here. And that is it for part 7. Now is part 8 where we go ahead and hide all of this. And you might notice I actually don't have any blueprints here, but that's where the fun comes in. We can make whatever we want. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the description, I will include a list of the blueprints, but these are things we will have to fill in just because, again, I don't know how to, I'm just coming up with this now. This is where you get to get creative. You can build whatever you want. Just keep in mind, you don't want the blueprints to interfere with the gutter. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to get a large floor. We're going to place this right here like so. And then on this side, you might notice we don't have anything, but we're going to go ahead and we'll just place this. Or we don't have a floor over here, but that's just because we have the wires running here. But you can go ahead and definitely build a floor. We're going to go ahead. We're going to place this blueprint right here like this, another large floor. We're going to destroy that. Actually, we are going to get a floor built there later. I'll do that as an extra, I guess. But we have the 2 large floors. Then we're going to go ahead and we can get this down. But we don't, yeah, we want to make sure we have a 4-stud opening, which is exactly what we have, because the pins are 4 studs tall. And if it's anything shorter, then the pins might actually get stuck leaning up against this, just depending on how the balls roll, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to place a 4x2 and then a post here to cover the gap. And then we are going to go ahead, add a little bit of detail, a little bit of, like, I don't know, geometry. We're going to add a 1/1x1 wedge to that corner, and then go over here and add another one here. And then it's optional whether you want to hide all of this ooey gooiness back here. I'm not going to do it this video because you have to do the blueprint glitch where you make things invisible, because this wire here sort of blocks things and such. A lot of the wires are going to get in the way if you build walls back here. So walls, it is a bit ugly. In the next video where I actually show you some different upgrades you can make to this, I'll show you how you can go ahead and like make it so that it's nice back here when you actually look at it. But in the meantime, what we're going to do, I did have one remaining spooky wire, but it did glitch because of that blueprint thing. I think, I need a spooky wire. Let's go ahead and find one really quickly. So what the spooky lights are going to do essentially is just prevent the ball or anything else from bouncing out. This is a really simple solution. There are definitely better ways to go about this, which again, I will be talking about in the next video. But for now, let's go ahead and just get this placed down. Also, it's interfering with the doors. So let's go ahead and just connect it to all of the doors basically. So we'll go here, and then we'll also make sure that it doesn't interfere with anything. So then we'll go forward like this, along here. And then the ball can escape from here. Doesn't really matter. Now we're just going to run this from here to about here, I would say, because this is probably, okay, that's definitely not going to work. I thought it would work. Well, here's what we'll do instead. We're going to run it from here. We'll go back just a tad bit. And then, actually, hold on. We're going to close this. Press E. Oh, nope. Wait. Is that, yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we're going to grab the spooky icicle lights. We're going to go from about here. That way the balls at the end or the little pumpkins at the end don't block anything. We go down slightly. And let's see. We're going to... This just really depends how you laid your wires out. We're going to fit it through that gap there. We're going to run it alongside this wire here. And then from here, we're going to go all the way down to about right here, I would say. Maybe. I think that, yeah, that works. That should work. And then from here, we just go down to here like this. And that, oh, come on. That, see, it's the pumpkin down here that keeps blocking everything. I keep forgetting. Okay, this is going to be last attempt. And again, typically things don't bounce out of here, but we just don't want to, we'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're going to place this post right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from here. There we go. Run it to here. Wherever it's green, we'll just press E to accept. I saw it up here. Oh, there we go. And that is definitely not going to get in the way. And then we're going to go from there to here, to here, to here. Okay, that's good enough. That is definitely good enough. We'll destroy these posts really quickly. And again, this just comes down to however you laid your wires out, where you can fit this in. But there we go. We have all of that down. And now let's get some walnut wood, fill this blueprint in, and then start bowling. Because we have essentially created a functional machine. We just need the oak wood, or the walnut wood, excuse me. So we can like show how cool, or like hide all of the ookly gookly stuff behind the machine. Okay, so we have it all filled in. The floor here isn't necessary, but what you can do is do the blueprint glitch where you can like hide the wires and such, or you can just position the wires differently so that they don't really interfere with where the floor goes. But again, this is quite ugly back here, but at the same time, it's fine. So let's go ahead and show how this machine works. So you created this awesome machine, super cool. Let's go ahead, press the button, lower the doors. Again, it doesn't look too pretty, but that's fine. We can go ahead and start laying the pins down. And the pins will typically be in this door back here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this floor really quickly. And the pins will be here. If you press E, they'll all be lined up here. However, we've not actually used the machine, so there are no pins. We have to go ahead and put the pins there. And this requires a total of 6 pins. We can go ahead and lay down the first one in the middle by just holding shift down for just a bit, just so that it's like it will fit. Oh gosh, so that it will fit in the hole. But I mean, yeah, so let's go ahead. Gosh, try that again. Come on. It's hard because if it's too close to you, then you have to like, I don't know, it's tricky. But there we go. We can drop it in. It bounces for a bit, but at the same time, it does stand up because it does not have enough wiggle room to lean over. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do the back row, because for the middle row, we do have to put that post down to separate the 2 pins. So we'll drop that in there. And every single time I've dropped pins in here, I've done this machine, or I've built it before 2 times. So every time I've dropped the pins in here, not once have the pins actually leaned over. So that's just a testament to how like reliable this like door system is, which is great. Let's go ahead and grab the 3rd pin, then we'll grab the post to put in the middle temporarily. Then we remove the post before we actually start bowling, because, well, can't bowl while the post is there because it's like an immovable pin. So let's go ahead. We're going to walk over here as well. And it wouldn't be too bad if you actually built a floor around here. That way you don't have to stand on doors. So let's go ahead and get a post. Like this, we're going to put this in the middle, and that's perfect. And then we're going to grab the 2 remaining pins. This is pin number 5. We'll go ahead and just drop this down here. There we go. Let's get pin number 6, like this. There we go. And drop this in here. Walk over here, actually. Oh, gosh. That's the problem. The doors are so thin, like, you sometimes slip. There we go. There's pin number 6. Now we can go ahead, remove the post. And that's the only manual part about this machine, is you have to set up the pins, but the pins are easily set up with these doors here. And then let's get our bowling ball. I'm going to set it in this hole really quickly. There we go. And I'm also going to go ahead, I'm just going to fix up this hole in my mountain. Let's close it up really quickly. Come on. Please. There we go. Closed up. And now, let's test this machine out. And I'm going to preface it with this. It is not 100% perfect, but it is mighty darn good. You can easily set up pins and do all sorts of cool things with it. So we're going to go ahead and press the button. And also a light. Oh god, where'd this pin go? What? I swear I put a pin in there, but now the pin is just disappeared. What? So I literally looked around. The pin is nowhere to be seen. Maybe you see it in the video, but that is definitely bizarre, because I 100% put a pin in there. Like, even if I look back in the footage, it's probably there. So I guess what we'll just have to do is put the post back down and get another pin. That is so bizarre. I don't know where it went. I mean, maybe it's probably somewhere in the footage you can see where it went, but it's like, no, it's not even under the machine or in the conveyors or anything. Well, maybe it is in the conveyors. I don't know. I didn't check that thoroughly. but you literally don't know where it is. So strange. Oh gosh. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll stand over here to drop this one in. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't put the pin in. But at the same time, I don't know where the pin went. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. We'll put that there. And now that all the pins are there, hopefully it doesn't disappear again. Press the button, and voila. It would be nice if we had a light back here, so I'm just going to move this work light over here. In the next video, I'll actually show you the different add-ons you can do, such as just simple lighting back here, how to hide the wires, etc., and the gutter guards. But yeah, this is just how you can do it. And one simple way for gutter guards is just using the spooky icicle lights and lining them from like here to here with like a slight height elevation, maybe 1 foot off the ground, and then the ball will never roll in the gutter. But let's go ahead, get our bowling ball, and do some bowling. Here we go. This is how you do it, by the way. I mean, you can do it different ways. You can go like that, but gutter ball. Obviously, I'm not going to wait for the ball to retrieve because it takes a bit of time, honestly. Let's go ahead and try it again. Oh, gosh. This is how I prefer. You stand here, and you go like, oh, gosh. Drop the ball. Go like this. 3, 2, 1, boom. Like that. Look at that. Look at that. I got a strike first try. Look at that. And let's see. Oh, gosh. This isn't really a good show for the machine, but, I mean, why did everything... Oh, did it get stuck on the... I'm just getting rid of these spooky icicle lights. They're giving me too much of a hassle. That's like that's the thing that clogged this machine. We're going to try it again in just a second. Gosh. There we go. I mean, it'll sort itself out. Like, if you just watch, be patient, give it a nudge. There we go. It works wonderfully. And it's nice how it does sort itself. This pin should eventually get through. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It works some of the time, I guess. Not 100%. But then you open the door. Like, look at all the pins. And the ball rolls over here. It's so cool. And then we press the button, close the doors, set up the pins again. And I'll show you. I'm going to cut the camera really quickly. And I'm going to set the pins up because you already saw how to do that. And then we'll do another bowling round. So now all 6 pins are set up. We can go ahead, press the button. All the pins are there. We can grab our bowling ball and bowl. Got a gutter ball. Okay. Let's try that again. I'm not waiting. I mean, the ball will roll around and then end up here. It just takes about, I'd say, 30 seconds. And I don't really have another bowling. Oh, gosh. Okay, I guess we have to wait for the bowling ball to come back. And the ball is back. Let's go ahead and grab it and try again. I really want to show the hatchet. Oh gosh, no, I don't want to wait for the ball to come back. Oh gosh, no. Hold on, let's just we're just walking around the side. I don't have the patience. I just want to get this video over with because I've been recording for more than an hour, which is like the longest video I've ever done. Okay, I keep bowling too far to the left, so let's try like this maybe. There we go. Maybe not. Okay. See, I mean, I got to strike the first try, but now every other time I bowl, it's a gutter ball. So let's try this again. Like this, maybe. And then that's another gutter ball. Come on. I just want to show... Because I want to show the hatch. But the problem with the hatch is that it's not 100% consistent. Just because items will quote-unquote fall... items fall asleep. And then that means like they get suspended midair. Even though they're not supposed to. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look at that. See? So it's not 100% strike every single time you hit the pins. Also, this one's a little bit stuck. If we give it a nudge, though, it will go on. And see, look, the pins didn't get stuck. And then you have these balls here, or pins, excuse me. You press the lever, it opens. Oh my gosh, it actually worked. Hallelujah. And the pins drop down, and they get pushed into the pin sorter. I think I might have to give this like a slight, like a bigger angle, I guess. But then... all 6 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are here. The bowling ball is here. Look at that. That's how it works. And this is so impressive because, I mean, yeah, this is how it works. And I hope you did enjoy this tutorial. I know it's a very long tutorial. If you actually build this, though, send me a picture on Discord or Twitter, and I will respond to you because it'd be really impressive to see if someone pulled this off. It's a very complicated build with lots of parts, lots of blueprints, and like just a lot of things, and it requires you to be a good lumber player. So if you made this, you are a very good lumber player. But that is it for today's video, everyone. If you did enjoy, consider pressing the like button or subscribing. A subscribe for this video would be very appreciated because it took so long to make, and hopefully this was something that you actually were able to build. I do owe a shout out to all of my Discord server boosters and channel members, so shout outs go out to Bubba1025, Certified JB, Feline Sean, Finbar, Infurious, Jasmine's, Jolly Santa Smart, King Ryan, Luxembourg Love, Nazab, Pro Gamer Doggo, Nick is Shifty, Surf, The Knight of Ace, Voxes, WSL Plays, Damon McMahon, Surf, and the ISS. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!